but I wasn't turning around. No, not this time. I don't think about it. Don't think I don't have regrets.
Hi, I'm Bart Herbison, Executive Director of the Nashville Songwriters Association. And this week, the story behind the song for the Tennessean and the Tennessean.com, Don't Think I Don't Think About It, with Clay Mills. And before we get into that, Clay, I want to give you some public props as a member of our board of directors. Mm-hmm. You're helping us on all these copyright advocacy issues, which are painstakingly slow to figure out in this new digital era. But you've given us a lot of time. And I also want to give you props because you give aspiring young songwriters a lot of time. You're a great teacher and mentor. And in a few months or years, these interviews, somebody are going to be going, well, because of Clay Mills. And I think that's important to give back. Yeah. So handshake and some props on that.
Appreciate
brother.
it, yeah.
So Darius goes to the label and has to convince them that he can do a country record.
Yes.
And I think that was Dungan.
Yeah.
And he gave him the shot, but how did you guys meet?
Well, my song plugger at the time, Kurt Denny, he'd been around Nashville a long time, and he asked me if I wanted to go out and write with Hootie and the Blowfish on the road. And I showed up with a couple of rock ideas I had. I literally thought I was writing for a Hootie and the Blowfish record. So when I sat down, climbed on the bus with Darius in Kentucky, and I sat on the bus and we started writing, and he was like, well, I'm doing this country record. And so none of the ideas I had were going to apply to this new record he was doing. So we just kind of sat there and talked about life and came up with some stuff.
Y'all, I can tell it through the songs. I don't think I've ever asked you this. Y'all have a serious connection. You really do. Mm-hmm. Something clicked.
Yeah, but it's not something that we've ever really talked about. It's
organic.
It's a musical thing that happens. Maybe he had the same influences I had. It's kind of like, you go out on a date with somebody and you click with somebody, and somebody else you don't,
right.
And you don't really know why, but we just know it works. So.
Where did this song come along in your writing process? Early, later?
Well, the first day I sat down with Darius, I was kind of honest with him. I said, I had been dating a girl for a year, and the day before I broke up with her. And so I was like, man, I don't even know if I feel like writing. My head is just not in it. I apologize. I'm probably not going to be any good today. And he was like, well, what's going on? And, I said, I broke up with somebody yesterday, I'm second guessing myself. And he's like, dude, I got this girl in the 5th grade that I still think about. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I still wonder about her. He goes, don't think I don't. And so I kind of wrote that down on a pad. And we wrote something else that day. But the next morning I got up and I said, don't think I don't think. And so then it just kind of, pulled out my guitar and I think I wrote about 90% of a chorus, just kind of fell out. And then I finished it later with Darius. So.
Did the girl ever know?
No. I don't think I've talked to the girl since, no.
Well, did you feel a light bulb? Or Lamont Dozier Holland, he was in a fight with his girl at the time, and she literally knocked him down. And he went, stop, in the name of love. And what he said that day, and I wonder if this happened to you, is he went, I hear cash register.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the middle of telling Darius this heartbreaking story, how tore up I was, I still managed to write that down. Because, I was like, okay, this is an idea, And that's kind of the beauty of songwriting, is that doesn't matter how you feel. Once you start working on a song, it just, your whole day turns around.
So did y'all finish it that day?
Yeah, we sat down. I had the chorus done, and we kind of wrote the verses together. Yeah.
And were you thinking of him because the vocals in the pocket you wrote it in, they're freaking perfect for him, man.
I never really listened to Hootie and the Blowfish. I just think that's kind of the magical, mysterious part of it. What we do together just clicks, and I don't want to think about it. I don't want to know why, but it's just some kind of connection you have. And I sing a little bit R&B. He's always been this African American in a rock band, and now he's doing country, and it just kind of, we meet in the middle somewhere, I think.
And am I right? That's the first #1 for a black solo country artist since 1983. There's got to be an element of pride in that for both of you.
Yeah, yeah, and in fact, it was Darius's first #1 ever. So I didn't know that. I'd always figured Hootie had, you know, multiple #1s. God, they sold a million records, a gazillion records. And so when Darius, when we were at our #1 party, he's like, "Man, thanks for helping me write my first #1," and it was truly special.
Well, don't you think it was also really important because Darius, country artist, forget race. He's not the first former rocker or former somebody else. Now I'm going to make it in the country market, and
Right.
usually it's a dismal failure. So you had to hit a bullseye for the first 2 or 3 songs he came out with,
Right.
but particularly that one.
Right. I mean, the first song was going to make or break him because, like you said, there's been everybody from Bon Jovi to whoever that's tried to kind of come in and crack this market. And for him to build a whole new second career, I mean, I'll just be honest.
Because this audience, once you get them,
Yeah.
but getting them,
I mean, I had a couple of people come up to me and go, well, you know, maybe radio might play his first single. You better get his first single because, you know, it's going to kind of be an interesting novelty at first. But no, he's the real deal. I mean,
I call that song a little bit of a car wrecker because I keep finding I'm turning it up, I'm not paying attention, I'm thumping the floor. There's something about that melody, that groove, the way he performs it.
yeah.
So, you know, and then more came after that.
Yeah.
You perform it live. Do you do it the same way? Do you do it a little differently?
I do it pretty close to the way Darius does it. And in fact, man, he's such a giving guy. I was in Vegas a couple of months ago, and he's performing by complete coincidence. He's performing the same hotel, same casino that I'm playing at that day. So I go stand on the side of his stage and watch his show. And at one point in the show, somebody comes out to take his guitar and get ready for the next song, and he like waves them off, and he calls me out on the stage. Now there's like thousands of people, and he like hands me his guitar, and he's like, "We're gonna play this next song I wrote with my buddy Clay Mills." And like, how many superstars will do that? You know, I mean, it's just, he's a tremendous, giving, you know, down to earth person.
Well, so are you, and that's probably part of the connection. Don't think I don't think about it. That's the story behind the song this week for the Tennessean and Tennessean.com. And here it is, Mr. Clay
Don't
Mills.
think I don't think about it. Don't think I don't have regrets. Don't think it don't get to me. Between the work and the hurt and the whiskey, don't think I don't wonder about. Could've been, should've been, all worked out. I know what I felt, I know what I said. Don't think I don't think about